I'd like to call the meeting to order, and I guess before we do roll, I would like to mention the person on my left could be celebrating a special day today. So,
Thank you.
roll, please, Michelle.
Avon.
Here.
Caledonia.
Here.
Canisius.
Here.
Geneseo. Groveland.
I like that.
Leicester. Lima.
Here.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Here.
Nunde.
Here.
Ashen.
Here.
Portage.
Here.
Sparta.
Here.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Here.
York.
I'd like to ask Monday Supervisor Mary Walker, please read us.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Here's some meeting minutes for your consideration from our last regular meeting, the 21st of February. Does anyone have any possible changes that they'd like to bring forward at this time? Hearing none, I look for a motion in a second, please.
Move Schuster.
Second, Lester.
We have that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's carried. Okay, some communications, please, Michelle.
The next conversation with the county will be held on Tuesday, March 22nd, 2022 at 5:30 PM at the Geneseo Government Center, 6 Court Street, room 205, Geneseo. Receipt of acknowledgement letter from Senator Barillo for resolution number 2022-72 and a thank you note from Diane D.
Abstract of claims.
Mr. Chairman, I move this abstract of claims and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Is there any question or discussion on this abstract of claims? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Leicester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. Ayes 1472, absent 537, adopted.
We also have several resolutions on the preferred agenda this afternoon.
Proclaiming the month of March 2022 as Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. Proclaiming the month of April as Child Abuse Prevention Month. Proclaiming the month of April as Fair Housing Month. Proclaiming March 29th, 2022 as Vietnam War Veterans Day in Livingston County. Proclaiming April 2022 as Donate Life Month. Reappointing members to the Livingston County Environmental Management Council, Robert Donnan, David W. Parrish, and Paula Smith. Declaring surplus property highway.
Thank you, Michelle. Is there any discussion on these resolutions on the preferred agenda? Hearing none, I look for a motion in a second to bring this to a vote.
Move fall. Second, Lester.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's carried. Roll, please, on this, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo. Groveland.
Aye.
Leicester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 1472, absent 537, adopted.
We're going to consider some resolutions that are going to require a separate roll call vote next.
Mrs. Walker, authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following contract for the Livingston County Center for Nursing and Rehabilitation. Fusion Medical Staffing, LLC.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker. Is there any questions or discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo. Groveland.
Aye.
Leicester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. Ayes 1472, absent 537, adopted. Authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following contract for the Livingston County Department of Health. Say to Rural Health Network, Inc.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker. Is there any questions or discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo. Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. Ayes 1472, absent 537, adopted. Establishing the Livingston County Department of Health hospice fee schedule for rates effective October 1st, 2021.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker. Is there any questions or discussion on this fee schedule? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia.
Aye.
Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. Ayes 1472, absent 537, adopted. Authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following contract for the Livingston County Office of Workforce Development Youth Bureau, New York State Department of Labor.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker. Is there any questions or discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon. Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo. Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. Ayes 1472, absent 537, adopted. Mr. Deming, authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following contract for the Livingston County Department of Emergency Medical Services, Monroe Community College.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Devlin. Is there any questions or concerns on this contract? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 1472, absent 537, adopted. Awarding bids and authorizing purchase for the Livingston County Highway Department. Various aggregate materials through March 31st, 2023.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Devlin. Is there any questions or concerns on this resolution? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 1472, absent 537, adopted. Awarding bids and authorizing purchase for the Livingston County Highway Department. Various construction materials and services through April 1st, 2023.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Devlin. Is there any questions or concerns on this resolution? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. Ayes 1472, absent 537, adopted. Awarding bids and authorizing purchase for the Livingston County Highway Department. Rental of various pieces of construction equipment through April 1st, 2023.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Devlin. Is there any questions or concerns on this resolution? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 1472, absent 537, adopted. Authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following contract for the Livingston County Planning Department. SUNY Research Foundation of the State of New York.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Devon. Is there any questions or concerns on this contract? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 1472, absent 537, adopted. Authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following contracts for the Livingston County Sheriff's Office. Dansville Central School District, Genesee Valley Educational Partnership, Keshequa Central School District, Livonia Central School District, Mount Morris Central School District, and York Central School District.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Devon. Is there any questions on any of these contracts? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 1472, absent 537, adopted. Authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following contract for Livingston County Environmental Enterprises, Inc.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Devon. Are there any questions or discussion for this resolution? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo. Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. Ayes 1472, absent 537, adopted. Mr. Knapp, amending the 2022 Livingston County budget, Highway, Mental Health, and Sheriff's Office, there are two.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Is there any question or discussion on these budget amendments? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 1472, absent 537, adopted. Authorizing transfer of funds, County Historian.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Is there any questions or discussion on this transfer? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo. Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 1472, absent 537, adopted. Authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following contracts for Livingston County Information and Technology Services. Relcom, Inc. and Teledatacom, Inc.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Is there any question or discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 1472, absent 537, adopted. Amending the 2022 salary schedule, emergency medical services and planning.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Any questions or discussion on this resolution? Seeing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. Ayes 1472, absent 537, adopted. Amending Resolution Number 2022-83, appointing Commissioner of Social Services Tracy McCaffey.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Any questions or discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon. Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. Ayes 1472, absent 537, adopted. Approving reappointment of Livingston County Deputy Highway Superintendent Zachary A. Cracknell.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Any questions or concerns on this reappointment? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. Ayes 1472, absent 537, adopted.
Congratulations, Zach.
Approving reappointment of Livingston County Deputy Highway Superintendent Shannon E. Rice.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Is there any questions or discussion on this reappointment? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York.
Aye.
Ayes 1472, absent 537, adopted. Appointing the Deputy Director of Emergency Management for the Livingston County Office of Emergency Management Services, William Gall.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Is there any questions or discussion on this appointment? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon. Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen.
Aye.
Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. Ayes 1472, absent 537, adopted. Authorizing the chairman of the Livingston County Board of Supervisors to sign the following contract for Livingston County Real Property Tax Services. Systems Development Group, Inc.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution and ask for unanimous consent.
Thank you, Mr. Knapp. Excuse me. Is there any questions or discussion on this contract? Hearing none, roll please, Michelle.
Avon.
Aye.
Caledonia. Canisius.
Aye.
Geneseo.
Aye.
Groveland.
Aye.
Lester. Lima.
Aye.
Livonia. Mount Morris. North Dansville.
Aye.
Nunde.
Aye.
Ashen. Portage.
Aye.
Sparta.
Aye.
Springwater. West Sparta.
Aye.
York. Ayes 1472, absent 537, adopted.
Thank you. Ian, do you have any other business updates for the board at this time?
Yeah, just a couple things, Chairman. The first is the reminder that tomorrow we're having a ribbon cutting at the CNR, celebrate the opening of the shared services project with Wyoming County Hospital System for the dialysis. So that's tomorrow at 9 a.m. I will be there. I know some others will as well. So a good project to celebrate. So very happy that that's came to fruition. NISAC conference is next week. You saw notices on that. A few of us county folks will be there. The theme is keeping taxes local. So keeping local taxes local. essentially trying to win the fight back for the 2 sales tax intercepts that happened this last 18 months. So the aim, which is now, we have some relief on, but the other one remains, which is that distressed hospital fund. So all total, that's about $800,000 worth of impact to us. Obviously, that's just one set of items that's going to be discussed in Albany at NISAC, but that's sort of the main theme. Next Ways and Means is an important meeting, so if you can make that, I would encourage you to do so. Among other matters that the Ways and Means Committee will be discussing, there'll be some American Rescue Plan specific decision-making expected at that from some of the asks that we've received from outside the county, external parties, if you will. So I anticipate some yay or nay decision-making at that meeting based on some of the feedback that we had the last couple of meetings. Also on that same subject, American Rescue Plan, I put a kind of renewed feeler back out there to the county department head to talk about some things that likely I've already kind of talked about in some aspects to most of them, but kind of updates from our own team members as far as what might be an ask of some of the American Rescue Plan funds for some of our own services and operations, one-time expenses, projects, equipment, initiatives, things like that. So that's out there. And last but not least, just in case you hear, because there's a lot of players in this marketplace, the counties, we are out to RFP for our 457B, 401A plan administration. So every 5 years, we have to go out to bid for our deferred comp for our county employees. So that is presently with a group called Empower, which used to be Mass Mutual, which used to be the Hartford. So there'll be other players in that marketplace. So, you may hear somebody ask about that because we usually get a half dozen or so expressions of interest from financial firms or investment firms or retirement-based firms that wish to bid on that business. So it is an open process that we're running through our fiduciary consultant, which is Stifel. So, and that's all I have, Chairman.
Thank you. Any other business come before the board this afternoon? Mr. Davis.
I got just a couple of things to bring to you from DEC Fish and Wildlife Board. One is we're having a lot of, whether anybody knows it, the hemlocks are starting to die. And they're called hemlock woolly aphis, and they're boring into the hemlocks and they're dying, especially the big ones. They are injecting over in Letcher State Park, injecting poison into there to kill these bugs. They're working on a beetle that they're going to turn loose that should be into the insects. Should help us down the road, kind of like the alfalfa weevil years ago. The other thing is the deer take was down, but we haven't got the exact figures on it. They took 1,348 bear, which was down from the year before. And in one other note, the venison donation in all of New York State, we donated over 15% of all New York State at our place. That's all I have.
Thank you. Is there any other business to come before the board this afternoon?
Move to adjourn from Geneseo.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Meeting is adjourned.